There is a moment in every human life when the world grows violently quiet, a moment when it feels as if the ground beneath us is shifting and yet the path ahead is still unseen. Most people mistake this moment for collapse, but those who have walked the inner road know the truth. When everything inside you feels like it's being torn apart, you are standing at the doorway of a breakthrough, not the loud kind, not the glamorous kind, but the kind Marcus Aurelius called the real change of the mind, not the world. And if you're living through that moment now, there are 5 signs that you are closer than you think. Sign 1. Your old self feels too small for you now. There comes a point where your habits, your impulses, your old ways of reacting, they no longer fit the person you're becoming. It feels like you're wearing a skin that has grown too tight, and every attempt to go back makes you feel suffocated. This discomfort isn't chaos, it's growth. Epictetus said, "No great thing is created suddenly." And he was right. The mind outgrows itself long before the world catches up. This stage often feels dark. You lose interest in old conversations, old environments drain you, old temptations feel childish. You may not even recognize your own thoughts anymore. But here's the secret only the inner warriors know. When the inner world feels like it's crumbling, it's because a deeper intelligence is taking over, one that refuses to let you stay small. We don't outgrow our past gently. We outgrow it violently through tension, silence, and self-confrontation. If your old self feels dead, it's because your new self is ready to breathe. Sign 2. You begin to lose interest in impressing anyone, including your past self. There is a rare moment in a person's inner evolution when the hunger to be seen, validated, or approved by others begins to rot away, slowly, quietly, like an old instinct dying. Most people mistake this for apathy. But those who walk the deeper road know exactly what it is: the collapse of ego. The ancient philosopher Heracles wrote about the shrinking circles of concern, a process where the individual becomes less controlled by the external world and more anchored in their internal one. This is not detachment out of coldness. It is detachment born from clarity. When you reach the final stage before a breakthrough, your desire to impress others dissolves because you finally see the truth. Your life is not a performance, it's a confrontation with yourself. You begin to realize that the opinions of others are wind, their praise does not strengthen you, their criticism cannot break you, their expectations are not your obligations. And even more powerful, you stop trying to impress the earlier version of you, the one who was driven by insecurity, impulse, and fear. Suddenly, you no longer crave being better than who you were. You aim to become different than who you were. Cleaner, sharper, more disciplined, more in control of your mind than ever before. Marcus Aurelius said, "Be indifferent to what makes no difference." But this was not a command to be emotionless. It was an invitation to stop letting the external world hijack your energy. When you truly enter this stage, your silence becomes stronger than other people's noise. Your restraint becomes more impressive than any achievement. Your ability to remain calm while the world flails around you becomes your real power. Nothing external excites you the way it used to. Not validation, not attention, not recognition. And ironically, that is when people notice you the most. Because confidence built on ego is loud. But confidence built on self-mastery is silent, and the silent kind is always the most magnetic. This stage feels strange at first, like you're shedding identities you've worn your whole life, like you're losing parts of yourself. But what you're actually losing are the illusions that kept you small. You stop posting to prove, you stop speaking to impress, you stop acting to be liked. You stop performing for people who don't even understand themselves. Instead, you begin to guard your inner world with a seriousness that feels almost sacred. This is where the breakthrough begins. Because only when you detach from the need to be seen do you finally see yourself clearly. Only when you stop trying to impress others do you become someone impressive. This is the quiet threshold every strong mind crosses before stepping into their next level, the moment when the outer world loses its grip and the inner world finally takes command. Sign 3. Your life starts falling apart. But you don't panic anymore. There is a stage in every person's evolution where everything seems to break at the same time. Your plans collapse, people disappoint you, routines fall apart, and life stops obeying your expectations. Most people interpret this as failure, but the ones who walk the path of inner mastery know this moment for what it truly is, the final purification before a breakthrough. Epictetus taught a principle many avoid because of its harshness. Circumstances don't make the man, they only reveal him to himself. And this stage reveals you in the rawest way possible. When you're close to leveling up, life tests the foundation beneath your feet. It pulls away the things you depended on, your comforts, your distractions, even your sense of certainty. Not to punish you, not to crush you, but to strip away what can't come with you into the next stage. The strange thing, you start reacting differently. The things that once overwhelmed you now feel manageable. Situations you once feared no longer ignite your panic. The chaos that used to make you spiral now moves around you like weather, loud, violent, but unable to touch the calm center inside you. You're not becoming numb, you're becoming disciplined. Seneca described this transformation perfectly. The blazing fire makes flames and brightness out of everything that is thrown into it. Your life stops falling apart to you and starts falling apart for you. You see that losing people is clearing space. Failed plans are simply misaligned plans. Uncertainty is training, pressure is shaping, silence is sharpening. And here lies the sign that you're closer to a breakthrough than ever. You stop begging the world to be easier. You start strengthening yourself to meet it as it is. This shift is terrifying to the old version of you, but empowering to the new one. Because the moment you can remain steady while everything shakes, you become untouchable. This is the stage where transformation is no longer an idea. It's a fire burning through your life, refining what remains. When you can stay calm in the storm begins to fear you. Sign 4. You stop seeking approval from others. There comes a point in the life of those who are destined for mastery when the noise of the world no longer matters. Every whisper of judgment, every glance of disapproval, every subtle rejection that once tore at your confidence, now it passes through you like air. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If someone can prove me wrong and show me my mistake in any thought or action, I shall welcome it, I will learn from it, but I will not live to please the opinions of others." This is the essence of this stage. When you are close to your true power, the opinions of the masses lose their weight. Their approval is no longer a currency that defines your self-worth. Why? Because the individual who moves in silence understands that approval is fleeting. It is conditional. It is dependent on moods, envy, and the ignorance of those around you. To chase it is to tie your value to someone else's weakness. Instead, you begin to measure yourself by your own standard. Your actions, your discipline, your integrity, and your inner calm become the metrics that matter. This is not arrogance, it is clarity. You stop performing for others. You stop adjusting your behavior to fit expectations that were never yours to begin with. You stop explaining, justifying, or defending the quiet decisions you make. The people who matter, those who see your worth naturally, will recognize it. Those who do not are irrelevant. Seneca reminds us, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. And approval is a craving. By letting it go, you cultivate freedom, a freedom so rare it becomes invisible to the unawakened. This is why truly intelligent, truly powerful people operate in silence. They are untouchable because their source of power is internal, not external. At this stage, you also notice a strange side effect. People who used to manipulate you through praise or criticism lose their power entirely. They attempt to provoke, to flatter, to shame, but nothing works. You have built a fortress within yourself, and its gates are closed to the influence of the unwise. This is a defining sign that you are on the threshold of a breakthrough. You are no longer reactive, you are deliberate. Your energy is preserved for what truly matters: growth, action, and mastery. The world will continue to demand attention, validation, and compliance, but you will no longer yield. Your power is quiet, hidden, unshakable. And the moment you stop seeking the world's approval is the moment the world starts noticing your absence and wonders why it can no longer control you. Sign 5. You embrace solitude without fear. There is a stage in the journey of a powerful mind where solitude no longer feels like emptiness. It becomes a sanctuary. It is not the avoidance of life, nor a retreat from reality. It is the deliberate choice to dwell within your own presence, to confront your thoughts, and to cultivate the quiet strength that the untrained cannot comprehend. Epictetus taught, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. The same applies to companionship. Those who are close to a breakthrough understand that their energy is precious, that their focus cannot be scattered by the constant chatter of superficial interactions. They do not fear being alone because they have learned that the world outside is a mirror of their own mind, reflecting chaos, distraction, and the desires of the unwise. In solitude, the mind sharpens. Thoughts that were once drowned in noise become clear. Emotions that were once overwhelming become examined. The storms of envy, fear, and doubt no longer control your actions. This is not loneliness, it is liberation. Many fail to see the power in being alone because they seek validation in numbers, recognition in crowds, and comfort in the presence of others. But those who are moving silently, who are preparing for their breakthrough, understand that true influence is born in the quiet spaces of reflection. They do not need applause to measure their value. They do not need constant connection to feel complete. Seneca reminds us, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Solitude is not wasted time, it is invested time. Every hour spent alone, in thought, in self-discipline, in study, is an hour building the fortress of your mind. It is in this space that clarity forms, plans are made, and the destructive influence of weak minds is filtered out. In embracing solitude, you also begin to notice the world differently. You listen more than you speak. You observe more than you react. You become aware of motives, patterns, and weaknesses, both your own and those of others. This awareness is silent power. It cannot be seen, it cannot be stolen, and it cannot be diminished by the opinions of the ignorant. To fear solitude is to fear mastery itself. To reject distraction, to control your attention, and to thrive in the absence of external validation is to step closer to the final stage. The unawakened cannot comprehend it. They mistake quiet for weakness, reflection for hesitation, but we know differently. We know that it is in these silent moments that the seeds of greatness take root, watered by discipline, patience, and self-mastery. If you found value in this video and want to keep strengthening your mind, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Join us as we uncover the silent truths of power, mastery, and self-mastery. Get exclusive content and deeper insights. Join our membership today. Link in the description.